Felix, we got to talk a little bit about Graham Platner. All right, like we have not talked about him much on the show, but he became a big story last week. So I don't know where you want to start with this one. It's just like whether it's the Totenkopf Nazi tattoo, his multiple tours of duty in Iraq. But like, I got to be honest with you, my attitude about Platner was that like more than anything else is I don't think he's a Nazi. Or I don't think he is any more or less of a Nazi than anyone else who volunteers for the U.S. Marines, which is to say, a non-zero amount of Hitler particles. But like, look, if you were a Nazi, like his Reddit post would be something a lot worse than just saying black people don't tip.
Yeah, yeah, and like, I mean, the thing that was like a deal breaker for me was the fact that he was a mercenary.
Yeah, that he joined one of the most heinous private armies in the world.
Yeah,
I know he said it was like I was working for a subsidiary and I was doing embassy security, but like that to me is the biggest demerit against his character and judgment.
Yeah, fucking whatever. Anytime, if you are living in a world after the year 1750, any mercenary you meet is a fucking scumbag. But be that as it may, all of that being what it is, this is out of our hands, and it always has been. This has nothing to do with us. This is a indigenous stupid movement. And Graham Platner he will be the electoral start to stupid woke, something that we've long been predicting in private. And it started when Zach Bryan released that anti-ICE song. Stupid woke was inevitable.
Yeah. And like the progressives finally have their own guy who's like kind of a goofy, but like I gotta say, if I lived in Maine, I would still vote for him. Like, what do you want from me here? Because like most of his Reddit posts were like, yeah, I own guns, and if you come after trans people, you're fucking gonna get destroyed by me. And it's just like, isn't this all the fucking heckin' gun communism shit that we're all supposed to love? Yeah, like, of course the guy who's writing it is a goofy. So are you.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so the thing that like really turned me off from him, right, is honestly, I don't care what anyone does. He could have a tattoo of every frame of the Band of Brothers episode Why We Fight tattooed on his back with the words "This did not happen" written over them, and I'd be like, he said he's sorry. I don't care if he was with my program enough. But the thing that I found just like a deal breaker is that like at the end of the day, he's still like I condemn Hamas too guy, and it's like. If you're a guy with that many skeletons and that many fuck ups, it's like, why are you still sounding like fucking, Elizabeth Warren on this issue?
Right.
One of the biggest single fucking contradiction in American politics. But again, like out of our fucking hands, no one who could sit through an episode of Deadwood is deciding this election. No one. No, I'm not even going to say read a book. What's next? They're going to finish an orchestra? Fuck off. No.
And it's difficult for me because the 4 tours of duty in Iraq, becoming a mercenary, that does speak to me to like a deficit in character and judgment, to say the slightest, to say the most mild thing I can say about it. But that being said, like all of his public political pronouncements, all of his public statements and the campaign he's running seem to be I'm totally cool with it. It seems like he's saying the right thing. And I would contrast his statement about the death of Dick Cheney yesterday to Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Bill Clinton. He had some thoughts because he was the one actually like fighting in this fucking war. But the guy I kept thinking about when I think about Graham Platner and his like sort of like cool anti-war politics now, and he's sure like he's not celebrating the flood operation or Hamas, but like I think most of his public statements on Israel Palestine have been correct and admirable as far as I can tell, like within the confines of like the Democratic Party. But that being said, like the guy I kept thinking about when I think about Graham Platner and his current politics as contrasted with his multi-tours of duty in Iraq and Afghanistan is Fox Mulder from the X-Files. Because I was just thinking, like, here's a guy who's like dedicated his whole life to unraveling the dark and unspeakable evil conspiracy at the heart of the U.S. government, which is like collaborating with like an alien colonization project and like testing on human subjects, abducting them, doing all kinds of evil things. But he's still happy to show up for work every day at the FBI, where he's like I'm going to solve it. I love being an FBI agent. Love working here. I think the FBI is going to get to the heart of the alien conspiracy that's run by the U.S. government that pays my checks every day.
Well, that it takes place in the pocket dimension, the same one as the SVU universe, where like institutions are approximately 7,000 times more functional and forthright than the ones in real life.